This week on the Virtual Skeptics, Bob wanders into the muck. He is going clear, and Tim is apparently faded out, whatever that means. I'm your host, Brian Gregory, and I love that it's now Harry Potter Day.
Yeah.
I'm really into the whole Harry Potter thing. Captain Picard was my favorite captain.
And then when the two of them went to Mordor.
I know. That was
Yeah.
It's
great.
It's a shame that Luke lost his hand because he can't wear the ring anymore.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. So. Okay then. This is the Virtual Skeptics. Thanks for tuning in. Let's just do this show thing. So this week, I only have a small panel, but they're a good panel. So let me introduce the good panel.
Not the size of the panel that matters.
It's not. Yes, it is. Okay. First up, we have Bob Blazkowicz, CSI's conspiracy guy, web columnist, blogger for Skeptical Humanities, and Skepticality contributor. And we also have Eve Siebert, editor and blogger at Skeptical Humanities and contributor to Skepticality at Insight at skeptic.com with no S, which I always add that.
Mm-hmm.
Tim's not here tonight because apparently he is on trial.
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't know. Actually,
at least that's what Mike Adams is saying.
Yeah, I don't really know. Oh, yeah. Apparently, there's other stuff too, which we're not going to talk about. So this is a show. We do stuff and we talk about stuff, and it's usually skeptical stuff. And you guys watch. And if you want, you can get involved. You can tweet with #VirtualSkeptics, or you can ask us a question on the Q&A app, or you can comment on the YouTube channel, and we will do our best to at least mention your efforts on the show.
Okay.
Really appreciate it.
Cool.
This week, do we have a trivia question?
We have a trivia question, and so I ask you guys to keep your eyes on the normal places where the trivia is answered, because I don't know where that is. But
and YouTube.
What is the skeptical significance?
The Twitters and the YouTubes, yes.
I wouldn't know. I never watched the show.
Yeah.
What is the skeptical significance of the 4th of May, 2005? That is all.
2005. So specifically.
Yes.
In 2005. Today. So today.
Yep.
2005 is significant.
Yes.
And skeptically significant?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for the trivia question there, buddy boy. There are two videos behind me. If you can, well, see, one of them seems I thought it was frozen. It's not.
Yep.
These are probably the two easiest videos I've ever put up behind me, especially given the fact it's Harry Potter Day. Okay. So please, if you figure them out, tweet or comment, and I will acknowledge your awesomeness. Okay.
Ooh, vocal fry.
What?
Nothing.
Vocal fry. That's
vocal
what you do.
Vocal fry.
Oh my God.
Yes.
But only women apparently get criticized for it.
No, they actually do better socially with it.
We're not going to turn into
something
NPR.
We know about. So go ahead. Tell me the history of the vocal fry. This is not for Futurama. This is no.
No.
It's a real thing. It's no upspeak.
Yeah.
What is ups?
Upspeak is when you're not asking a question, but it kind of sounds like you're asking a question.
It's Valley Girl talk.
On that note, Eve, you're first.
Okay, first of all, I should begin with a warning. This story contains woo concentrate. It may be a little bit much to take.
So we need to add water.
Yeah. Yes. A Nevada woman named Gracia Echevarria Hernandez is suing a Las Vegas-based company, AffinityLifestyles.com, and their subsidiary, Real Alkalized Water, for discrimination in the workplace. Echevarria Hernandez was hired in March 2015 to be a brand ambassador for Real Water. So let's pause for a moment to discuss what real water is.
2 hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom.
No, it's not this. This is just water. It's not real water. Apparently.
Water?
No, it's just normal water, not real water. Real water, trademark, has the power of alkalinity and is infused with negative ions. Now, according to Wikipedia, randomized controlled trials have suggested that high flow rate negative air ionization works better as a treatment for seasonal affective disorder than placebo. It seems to increase the results of bright light therapy, but these are early results. Some other tests have not shown any statistically significant results. And it's only high-density ions that seem to have an effect, not what you could get from an air purifier or
like
something.
Having them bombarded in your eye in some sort of particle accelerator?
Sure.
Don't do that. Don't put your head in the particle accelerator.
I thought you'd just hire some guy to rub balloons all day long or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that should work. And also not something as seen on TV. And of course, it has nothing to do with water. Rigorous scientific tests.
Okay, go ahead.
It sounds like you could use some.
You need to.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Rigorous scientific tests have shown that alkalized water infused with negative ions can increase hydration and reduce thirst. No, it's true. And these are not inconsiderable benefits. In certain circumstances, they can even be life-saving. However, there are many ways to achieve similar results. Excuse me.
Is that water?
Very refreshing. So, what is real water and what does it do? According to the Real Water website, and I quote, you're going to find this hard to believe, I just didn't come up with this off the top of my head. Real water is a premium drinking water. No, I'm sorry. Real water is a premium, drinking water with an alkalized
it's
pH.
It's meant to be read in upspeak, Eve.
What?
It's a premium.
Premium drinking water?
Drinking water.
No.
With an alkalized pH of 8.0 that utilizes the proprietary E2 technology, trademark, making it the only drinking water on the market that can maintain a stable negative (minus) ionization. Since real water is alkaline with an 8.0 pH and negative ionized, it can help the body to restore balance.
Okay.
Now you can click on Learn More.
Do you drink it really quickly if you're falling over?
Yeah. Well, possibly. You can click on Learn More and read more vague, meaningless, science-y sounding waffle, but it does seem to be power balance in a bottle.
I like waffles.
In the show notes, there will be a link to a Guardian article that discusses some of Real Water's claims. For instance, normal water is stripped of electrons, and this causes the molecules to clump.
Sorry. Wow.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Well, they do at low temperature.
That's sort of true.
Yes.
The molecules clump, preventing them from hydrating our cells.
It's kind of hard to drink ice. Yes, that's true.
Clumpy. Furthermore,
I don't think that's water.
These clumped molecules basically become free radicals which literally zap or pull life force from the cell.
Oh.
I'm going to put this down now. I don't want it near my cells.
No.
Now, I don't claim to be a chemist, But this sounds to me like industrial-grade piffle. Now, the Guardian article is from 2011, though, so some of the claims may have been modified on the website. Molecules do still clump, I found that, but there is no mention of free radical stripping life force. Interestingly, the Guardian article mentions a scientific articles tab on the website that led to a page that said, coming soon. And that tab is no longer there at all. So
it came and went.
Or didn't come at all. However, to be fair, real water must work because there are pictures of world-famous actress Eva Longoria, world-famous singer Melanie Brown, a.k.a. Mel B, a.k.a. Scary Spice, who is definitely one of the 5 most world-famous Spice Girls, and world-famous DJ Paul Oakenfold holding bottles of real water. And yes, you can also click on See More Celebs. So why is Ms. Echevarria Hernandez suing this fine business? Well, she says that she suffered workplace discrimination because she's a Christian, specifically a Roman Catholic. Now, we all know how much discrimination Christians have suffered recently, being fed to lions and prevented from discriminating against others. But what specifically is Echevarria Hernandez's beef? Well, on her first day at work, she was forced to watch The Secret and several Scientology-based videos. But she's not suing for cruel and unusual punishment. Her supervisor told her she could get a 25-cent raise by attending self-betterment courses. She'd
what a jerk!
She'd receive a raise of 25 cents per hour for each course she completed. She did attempt one. Self-betterment, it turns out, involves watching more Scientology videos. And so she felt uncomfortable and she left early. She told her supervisor she didn't want to participate in the courses because she held different religious beliefs. So she wasn't eligible for the raises, and she claims she faced workplace hostility. On October 8th, after she'd been there about 7 months, her supervisor wrote 3 reports in one day alleging she wasn't fulfilling her responsibilities, although she'd never been written up before. And then she was fired the next day. According to the lawsuit, the termination was not based on deficient job performance, as defendant claims. In reality, defendant sought a reason to terminate an employee with differing religious views. She claims her treatment constituted discrimination, retaliation, and an unlawful employment practice under the Federal Civil Rights Act, and also violated Nevada law. Can I have some clumpy water? Chewy. Extra clumps. The president of Real Water is Brent Jones, a Republican member of the Nevada Assembly, who is opposed to taxes, the Common Core, and the state health insurance exchange. He's also vocally pro-Scientology. His son Blaine is executive vice president of the company and is also running for a seat in the state assembly. Real Water proudly supports a number of charities, which is nice, including the Citizens Commission on Human Rights, which sounds great, but is a Scientology-supported anti-psychiatry group that claims that terrorism is manufactured by psychiatry. So now, at this point, we don't really know the facts of the case. We don't know if Echevarria Hernandez really did suffer workplace discrimination. But I think we can say the company does have the whiff of negatively ionized bullshit. Jones doesn't want his constituents to have access to affordable, real health care. Instead, they can buy his magic water. And he certainly wouldn't want them to have access to affordable mental health care because that's just basically state-sponsored terrorism, according to Scientology. And who needs pharmaceuticals when you can fix what ails you with a bottle of schmiance? And that's it. So you got the Scientology, you got the New Age wooey water.
Well,
yeah.
Jesus. God, Scientology's an awful, awful thing.
Yep.
From top to bottom, rotten, rotten, rotten.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's just,
yeah, I know.
I want to like wash my hands and.
Yeah, you'll get clumps all over you.
Yeah, I know.
That's true. Yeah.
Jeez, I can't even do that anymore. It's a good thing I'm not drinking water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but they point out that water's in almost anything that you do drink, and it's like acidic and well, it's just zapping life force from your cells.
But at least it doesn't vibrate in their world.
There's probably vibration in there somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not that they want to talk about it. Never mind. Okey-dokey. So who's next?
That's
I
you.
believe you are.
It's me. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't done this in a while. I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's music. Is there music?
Yes.
Yay! I get to talk about robots. So I got a few things this week that are wonderfully electronic and terrifying. Shall we start?
Let's start.
Please do.
So there's this thing. And we need some evil music to go along with this. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. Okay, so this is the terrifying Eelbot. It is a Norwegian company called, appropriately, the Illume. Isn't that a nice play on words? Illume.
I guess.
Yes. It is a tethered robot that swims by mimicking snake motion, water snake motion. Has some cameras in the front and some sensors. And the idea is that they're going to use this thing. Well, they're commercializing it, so it's going to be something you just buy, although it's probably not going to be cheap. But the idea is to use this as like a submersible, some kind of underwater probe where you can.
Which will instantly
Search.
be eaten by sharks. Are you kidding me?
You know, I didn't even think about that. If it does behave
like
too organically, it might get mistaken for prey. Yeah. But I was more concerned with the fact that it's tethered. And I mean, this video does show some of it going through some underwater structure. And I'm thinking it's real easy for this thing to get wound up and stuff, as it snakes around and get into small spaces, and it have to be pretty darn smart to figure out how to unravel itself. I have no idea how much this is going to cost because they haven't commercialized it yet, but they just announced that they're a partnership with another Norwegian company to manufacture these things on a big scale, and their intention is to sell them as some kind of underwater drone that can be used for inspection or for some kind of underwater intervention.
Or just freaking the shit out of people.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of it being organic. I like the idea of it kind of being not as destructive as other kinds of underwater drones that have like big fans and huge power on them. And I mean, it probably can't carry a lot of cameras or sensors. So
and when it's moving, look at its head zooming around.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
it is wonderfully creepy.
Sit on the bottom and then get up and go. I don't know.
Yeah. Now they were talking about having these things kind of just hanging around and doing monitoring of underwater equipment. Now they also didn't talk about whether there's an untethered version. So I don't know if it was something that they can just have on its own. Maybe wireless. See, wireless doesn't work very well underwater. You can't get very high data rates, and you have to have direct line of sight. So any kind of video surveillance would be tough without a tether. So I don't know what. I got a question from Alex Murdoch on the internet. Does the eel have to be black with glowing red eyes?
This is exactly what I was saying. It's like, this isn't creepy enough looking. We should give it creepy red eyes.
I'm thinking the only way this would sell is if it's wonderfully creepy.
Yeah.
Because if you like, you can get the standard drone that looks like a big box with fans on it and an arm sticking out the front. Have all the standard features and stuff. That would be like buying, the Chevy minivan or the great big family SUV. But you don't want that. You want a sleek, fancy, creepy thing that's so cool to watch.
And forget all the scientific uses for it. We know people are just going to buy it to sneak it in the municipal pool just to see what happens.
They're going to buy these things and then harass kids with them because that's the fun thing, or cats, because cats are almost as fun to harass as kids are. So there's that.
If you find cats in the local pool.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Cats are hanging around pools. I don't know. It seemed like funny. So this other thing is not as creepy. This came out. There's a which convention was this? Tech convention, Las Vegas. This is Samsung. Samsung is throwing their hat in the personal assistant ring. I've obviously showed you my Amazon Echo that I have, and we've talked about the Jibo on here before, which is another personal assistant. The idea is that you have a device in your house that you can talk to with natural language, just like you do Siri, or you do the Google app, or various other things that are available. And it can do all the things that Siri does, tell you about the weather, give you news reports, answer questions.
Let you know where you can dump a body.
Yeah.
Which, it's the standard things you would ask a personal assistant.
And it's a bobblehead.
Yes. But this one, supposedly, it's like the Jibo does. Jibo is supposed to, look at you and respond to you with like a face, so it's supposed to give you a little bit more personal feel. There's not a whole lot about this device online yet. It is a single prototype that they're projecting the end of this year, maybe producing it. They had one at a trade show, and it answered some of the same questions you would ask, like I've asked my Amazon Echo. Not clear what back-end technology they're using because it's Samsung. Although they have a back-end technology that's supposed to support all of their smart TVs, and I suspect it's probably the same network or big server farm that's running this. And there's no big names involved in the project like with Jibo because it was a crowdfunded project. There were some people who were known for doing this kind of technology, either human-computer interaction or character animation or robotics or various things like that. They were involved in the project, and that one actually has been moving along, although their projected delivery date was December last year, and now they're looking at late summer, I think, for the development versions. So they're behind schedule, but they're at least producing videos that show the device is actually working. I have no idea what this thing's going to do, but the point is that everybody thinks that people want these things. Also, Amazon, the Echo, has come out with 4 or 5 different versions of it. So there's the Dot, which is actually a little small thing that it's supposed to be portable, and I don't remember exactly what the difference is, but it's also Wi-Fi. There's one that's supposed to come. They have a couple different form factors, and I don't remember exactly the details on them, but essentially they're the same thing. And I think the Dot, you have to push a button as opposed to just calling out the name. The And there's a third-party company who is now using the Amazon interface, the infrastructure that's online that makes the Echo work. They are licensing it for their own device, which is a kitchen device. It's like those kitchen radios you used to have that you hang under the cabinet that would play the radio and play CDs. But this one also has the voice in it, so that you can ask it questions and have it read recipes, I guess, and various other things in the kitchen. So there's a lot of expansion of these networks. There's a lot of expansion of the tools in the back end. There's a lot of new devices that come out. Everybody thinks that this is going to be in everybody's homes. So this is the question. The question is, this is how it starts, people. So this is where the sinister music should pipe in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have these little devices in our houses that are going to listen to what we have to say and record everything we talk about and keep statistics on us and be able to influence our decision making. And it's going to be all robots all the time, and they're going to take over little by little. And then our vacuum cleaners are going to be smart, and our refrigerators are going to be smart. And you see how I transitioned into the crazy voice? That's great.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't there already smart refrigerators?
Yes, but they're not smart. It's a TM at the end.
Yeah.
It's like the water. It's
Right.
not real.
Right.
It's just
Well, I
smart.
think the kitchen thing, reading you the recipes, I just imagine like, I said to sift the flour.
You're not sifting it properly.
Yeah.
I want a mother-in-law voice on mine because
There you go.
that would make me feel comfortable in
Mm-hmm.
the kitchen. Mother-in-law.
Yeah, I don't know. The privacy aspect does concern me.
Yeah, and the way a lot of these devices work, like Siri works this way, and I know Echo works this way, is it doesn't it records your voice, but it doesn't send all of that to the server, but it does do pattern recognition on it at the server. So there's a lot of data transfer going back and forth. There's a lot of logging involved. On the one hand, it's no different than the information that's available with every other internet transaction that's going on, because everything you do on the internet, there's a log of it somewhere. Just the problem is, the thing is that there's so much information, no one knows how to really search it. So that's kind of saved me a little bit.
Which was the brand of smart TVs that were always listening? Was that Samsung?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember if it was Samsung or not, but
I
interesting.
remember that.
Yeah, because that would be an
Not
interesting
DS.
precursor to this technology. Because, in order for my Amazon Echo to respond every time I say Alexa, which it just lit up, it
He
means
called me.
that
He called me. It's saying.
yes. So in order for it to know when I say something, it has to be listening already.
Yeah.
Now, it's not shipping that stuff off to a server somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not keeping. There's no way that there's enough horsepower in that thing to record my speech and save it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just trying to do pattern recognition on the immediate, short memory stuff. So, yeah.
Google, they're the ones who are actually recording what you're saying, and
Well, Google is technically already sentient.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. I suspect it's a lot of the same kind of technology. What has happened is that computers have gotten really fast, and they've gotten relatively power efficient and relatively easy to cool, so you can make these huge rooms of multi-machines and run software on it that distributes across them, so you can do huge level pattern recognition on huge databases of stuff. It's brute force compared to what our brain does, which apparently doesn't. There's no way that our brain is doing that kind of brute force because it's too quick and there's too little hardware. Of course, we don't really know what it's doing, but yeah. So we've gotten fast hardware and doing essentially the same type of thing we've been trying to do since the 60s. Just we can do it really fast now with a lot of data attached to it because memory's cheap too.
Mhm.
But it's not smart. It's not. It's a long way off from anything that's really that sinister. And it's a data problem as well. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things that's going to save us for a while is that there's no way to mine the information in a reasonable way. So it will happen, but yeah.
This is not entirely related, but Bob and I have been going through the Avengers, the British television series, the ones with Diana Rigg, and we just saw the one where an evil genius, obviously, is
always an evil genius.
designed all sorts of electronics. So he has his entire place run by computers with punch cards, obviously.
Yeah, because that was
It's
modern
run
technology.
by computers.
But they did talk about making things smaller, which was at least interesting. And of course, a robot that is programmed to kill people who have a certain pen. And the robot looked almost as convincing as Cybermen from the same era.
Yeah, which even the modern ones don't look much different. They
don't look great, honestly. Cybermen.
This just sort of looked like it had a sock over its face.
Cybermen and Daleks are.
I know. But the problem with Doctor Who is that it started in the 60s, so some of the same monsters have been around that long, and you can't update them to make them unrecognizable. So they have to kind of have that legacy. And that legacy
but
is
if you see
funny.
the one like from the original Doctor,
yeah,
wow.
Yep. And the Daleks haven't changed at all, except for the colors.
Well, yeah, except when they made them look like they were, melt in your mouth, not in your hands.
Yes. Yep. So, yes. And on that note, I'm going to move along. I don't see any questions on the internet. I'm looking. So I'm going to hand it over. Because Bob apparently has some wonderful, wonderful muck to talk about.
Yeah. Sorry, I need water.
Yes. Chew it.
Yeah, this is a very clogged and verklempt episode. So I'm kind of continuing in a similar vein as last week. It really looks like the newest thing over at Natural News is to go after individual skeptics, singling them out. Is
it with reasonable and accurate criticism?
No, it's actually an unhinged orgy of hate, Eve.
That seems uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so this starts. If you bring up the first image, it starts on the 20th with a post about David Gorski.
I like him.
He's a good guy. In which
a mustache he can twirl.
He's
basically, yeah.
He does. He needs to grow a mustache.
There you go. Get on that, Gorski.
Yeah.
So
look less like Howard Elliot Ness.
So
or the guy from Heroes, the horn-rimmed glasses.
Oh yeah.
He's
okay. So Gorski in this one, they say that they have filed complaints and allegations with the FBI and a variety of other places associated with him, as if that had anything to do with whether or not he's ever done anything wrong or improper, right? So Gorski, who, as we know, is a mere avatar of the all-knowing Aurak, editor of Science-Based Medicine, you expect this type of unfettered rage from time to time. I'm actually kind of proud of the fact that things that were said about me on the internet by unhinged loons came up during my job interview at my current we all had a good laugh at their expense.
Integrity, Bob. It's your integrity that really sells it.
Exactly, so this most recent attack on skeptics has kicked
They
this
couldn't
up.
watch the podcast, though, right?
Hmm?
They clearly didn't watch the podcast, though.
Hmm. So the most recent attack on skeptics,
Sorry,
it seems like it's kicked it up a notch. Like some of the untrue things that have been repeated with abandon by the writers at Natural News have gone into things like Gorski's sanity and his ethics, and truly some of the scummiest attacks has been how Adams has tried to link him to this guy Farid Fatah, or Fatah, who's a truly sick fuck who, according to the Detroit News, pleaded guilty to multiple counts of Medicare and insurance fraud, money laundering, and soliciting kickbacks. What this hematological oncologist was doing was treating people who didn't have cancer with chemotherapy in order to bill them, overtreated people who were dying with expensive chemotherapy in order to bill them, undertreating those people who were sick when billing favored another therapy, and so on. He's a truly monstrous person, a betrayal of patient trust matched only by the few other people I can think of. And Adams has tried to say that there's essentially no difference between Gorski and this Fata guy. He offers no evidence, of course. He says that, well, both are associated with the Karmanos Cancer Center in Detroit. But as far as I can tell, there's dissimilar as two completely dissimilar things in a pod the size of Detroit. So it's at best a tenuous connection, and it reads like that when you look at Adams' site, but he repeats it over and over. Even though it makes as much sense as saying, Mike Adams lives in Austin, Texas, the known home of child molesters. What is he hiding? What does he know? So next came an attack against Susan Gerbic and our own Tim Farley for their highly effective chosen form of activism. This time it was.
And why is Tim not here tonight? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
There must be something.
There must be some reason. We will never know.
Yeah.
So next came an attack. Okay, blah blah blah. Tim Bolin. It came from Tim Bolin, who's a long-time unpleasant person. He's left a nearly 20-year-long slime trail of vitriol against people who are better than him. And Susan and Tim are the most recent objects of his hate. He was especially mean to Tim, as you can see here.
Yeah.
Which actually is funny. It's so ignorant.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out to our the health ranger here that the reason Tim has lost weight is because of actually doing something and
choosing to lose
supposed
weight.
to do.
Yeah,
to lose weight, exercise, and eating right. And no, he did not have to use any of the secrets on your website to actually lose weight, and didn't have to be sick to get.
I believe he ate less. He consumed fewer calories, and he's constantly running. He's actually running.
That's actually why he's not here right now.
Yeah.
He's running.
Yeah.
But not running from you. So
on Facebook. Well, I just ran a half marathon. Let's see Bolin try that. Right? So swing and a miss, ding dong. And because of the nature of the incestuously masturbatory hate machine of alternative medicine websites, one of Adam's contributors, Julie Wilson, who I hate, I don't know her, but I hate her. She picked up on Bolin talking about Susan's story, bring up the next image, and wasted a lot of electrons illustrating her own ignorance of all things Wikipedia.
Which is run by Gorski, right?
Which is run by Gorski as we showed last time, undeniably run by Gorski.
Despite the fact that he doesn't edit it at all, but still.
And the fact that you can check and people can fact check you. Whatever. Yeah. So
facts, schmacks.
In Bolin's little hit piece, he also resurrected an old story and salacious audio of James Randi. And I don't know if you know the backstory of this audio. And the audio sounds bad, but you need to understand it in its context, that they were gathering evidence of blackmail against him. The other thing is that there were no charges filed against Randi for what was alleged in that audio. So,
it was a sting operation.
It was a sting operation. Taken out of context, it makes for a very uncomfortable listen. And of course, Mike Adams, who can always manage somehow to be a worse person, ran the baseless accusations as another expose of Gorski, if you could bring up the next image. So,
he's a giant!
He's enormous! He's a huge cancer surgeon! No, wait, that's Randi. Never mind. Because of the size, whatever.
Skeptic Kingpin.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I've met Randi. He's cute.
He's a nice little guy. He's a pleasant old fart.
Yeah, I mean, he's not always right, but he's a pleasant old fart. It's probably the best way to. He's cute.
So yeah, I don't.
Kingpin. Wow. Yeah. I mean, wizard. Yes, definitely a wizard, but not.
All sorts of stuff. I mean, like the stuff that they've posted has been criminal racketeering and chemo murder and like all this.
Isn't Tam some sort of racketeer? It's just all that goes on there was racketeering.
Also, he controls CSI.
Huh.
The TV show?
No. So I wonder what
the organization formerly known as Psychop.
Yes.
Yes.
So I wonder what, if anything, we can read into this recent just pile on. What I get out of it
Brainstorm
is that the people who are doing this really don't care about people. To be, and I think this kind of goes with the territory. To be a mendacious medical huckster, you need to have a supreme disregard for human life and dignity. And I think that these supporters of Wu, whether they believe in what they're selling or not, are putting their bullshit ahead of people and don't care, are perfectly happy to try to destroy anyone. And I wonder what can be done, or what should be done, if anything, about this. Do we let them... Because they look like fucking lunatics when they write this stuff. To the vast majority of humans. They look insane. But then what if there's a small percentage of people, or it gets into, search results. They could have a real impact on people's lives.
Mm.
And it's nasty. Now, this is 2 weeks, and these people, some of them aren't all that smart. They'll see something shiny and they'll find something else to rage against. But
I guess,
yeah.
I guess the problem. I mean, this is the same problem we've been fighting a long time. Is that good sources and bad sources on the internet don't look much different as far as to someone who doesn't know what they're looking at. I mean, they look professional. They look well researched. They look like they know what they're talking about because they talk with authority. But is there a real solution to this? I mean, we've got tools like Web of Trust and other things where we can try to assign value or at least responsibility or some kind of reliability to the source so that people can use that to determine what's right and wrong. We've got Snopes, we've got other sites that try to debunk this stuff, and we've got blogs that you guys write and other stuff like that. But for the most part, I mean, do you expect that there's going to be legislation maybe somewhere? Is the internet going to be regulated? The thing's going to have to be true in order to be on the internet?
Think so. No. I don't think there's anything else like that. I don't think anything like that would possibly happen. I don't think that's desirable, honestly. I mean, that in itself is a problem. I want really, but how much do skeptics have to take?
Yeah.
We talk about the products. We talk about the services that are being provided. we evaluate them, and at our best, we withhold judgment about people until we're fucking sure. Right? They come out with their genitals in hand, waving them around like maniacs.
It's very embarrassing.
That.
Ew.
Yeah, well, I wanted to give you guys a horrific image, so
Well,
there you go.
You don't have to describe it. I've seen it, but no, not the genital waving, but the articles of vitriol and but
And they have no problem going on to taking the next step, going from no, I disagree with you, to these people that like they tell you about what they're thinking, like they create these like supervillains with and examine their motives and under like shit. My motives are like often unclear to me. How the fuck do you know what they are? I just find it to be a intractable, enduring problem that I can think of ways that to effectively not combat it, not like suppress or speech or anything, but they require money and organization that nobody seems willing to contribute. So I don't know. I wonder if you guys have better options.
No.
Apparently not.
No.
So, yeah.
I got what you got, man. Point it out and try to, I don't know, counter it with something that's legitimate, best you can. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you talked about that you were sort of proud that this sort of crap came up when you were interviewing for your job, but like for Gorski, who's a doctor, and patients Google their doctors, it's potentially damaging.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I would like people to know if I have integrity, that I have integrity, which means that they're going to find. I don't know. See, because this isn't. Yeah, because this is. If they find this, they don't know the validity of the source. But it's enough to. Yeah.
They were even weren't they posting fake patient reviews or something?
There are reviews on there that can't correspond with Gorski's patients because of what they describe. They describe him as he's just talking about blogging all the time, that sort of stuff. But he doesn't talk about that in session with a patient.
Yeah.
So it's clearly his detractors posting spurious shit. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff looks really deliberate, aimed at employers.
Yeah.
And who knows if these people actually contacted the FBI. I imagine that if they did, Gorski will hear from them. I know this from experience. But until then, it's just meant to intimidate and scare people, I think. I don't think they can humiliate us. They don't have that power. But yeah,
I mean, because we sort of look at Health Ranger as being risible because he's has gone beyond the deep end. But this has just been. He's had a little run of really nasty crap.
And it's gone with impunity. I mean, it goes unanswered. I mean, like there is that age-old problem that if you respond to it,
right,
you bump it up a little bit. You will notice that I'm not linking to these bastards in the links of the show. because they're bastards to a man, or closest approximation thereof.
Do not link doesn't
And
work
do not link
anymore.
is down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of those frustrating things. Susan was celebrating and was like, I'm gonna, wear these, what is the shill shirts or something.
Right.
But they'll just use that against us. You can't really even dignify it, and
Yeah.
Keep on doing what you're doing, people.
But now, am I correct in thinking that Health Ranger is not an official medical term?
Well, I have every right to use it. Every
Oh, I
right.
didn't mean you.
Does he have a trademark? Is it
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I mean, it's not like
Okay.
doctor of medicine. It's not quite on the same level of legitimacy.
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite.
I thought I'd check.
Yeah, it's more like at the.
I think I'm more of a Texas Health Ranger.
Texas Health Ranger?
Yeah. Yes.
You're Chuck Norris?
I'm
Chuck Norris of health.
Dr. Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
With the TM next to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so, okay. That was my anger. You feel frustrated going into this, and seeing people who are really doing phenomenal work.
Yeah.
And that's why they're being targeted, right? Because Gorski actually has some sway. Tim is designed to keep, make databases and protect the internet from evil. This is what he does. Susan is doing a great job with the guerrilla skeptics.
Yeah.
This is why they're being targeted.
And I mean, name aside, they are honorable in their, and they when they edit Wikipedia, they stick to the rules. They avoid conflict of interest. They do all the things you're supposed to do as responsible Wikipedia article editors. And I've actually, I've encountered people trying to get things in Wikipedia that can't because the group will stand up to the intention of Wikipedia and not to be wanting to put not wanting to put truth in there and wanting to be free from conflict of interest and all the honorable things you're supposed to be doing. So they just latched onto the name. That's guerrilla warfare tactics, which, yes, they are storming the Wikipedia server rooms.
There are no survivors. They're attacking at night.
And, yes.
They edit with machetes.
They camouflage themselves as USB cables.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't.
Yeah.
Do they have a specific war cry?
I don't know.
That's the least terrifying
war cry ever.
That was the "You've got mail." How about that one?
Oh shit!
That's
all right.
No, it's Wikipedia. It would be.
That's my war cry.
No,
You've got mail.
It's Wikipedia. It would be, give us money.
Yeah, that's true too. Please don't let us die. Yes. So there's that. Oh, and Bob just.
Oh my God! The Health Ranger got him.
He was taking.
He just said they got
takedown notice for the use of the name, I guess.
Yeah.
A couple quick things I want to point out that's been happening on the Twitters. Friend of the show and friend Nathan Miller wants me to sing because apparently negative ion water is all about that base.
Yes.
Low pH.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his tweet. I like that a lot, so I had to kind of do that. Let's see, what else have we got here?
Some people guessed.
He also mentioned, what?
Some people guessed
Yeah, some people did guess. Nathan also pointed out that Do Not Link is down, but Rebutter still has a feature of doing the
Oh, that's right.
correct
Yeah.
link. So if anybody wants to link to something that's not linking it directly in search results, there's that. And Bob is back.
Yeah.
Yay!
He's
Just in
risen again.
time.
Oh,
Bob
Jesus.
Risen.
There were some health
That was an
ninjas.
unfortunate use of words.
Health
by the way.
ninjas. I had to fight them off.
Yeah.
Sorry
Health.
about that.
Health ninjas.
Yes.
How many?
Huh? There were at least 3.
Okay. Did you see them?
Huh? Not until the last second because they're ninjas.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, good.
And also, they were emaciated vegans, so they were pretty easy to kick their ass.
Wow.
Yeah, take that, vegans.
Were they blue from eating silver? I don't know.
The colloidal silver.
I don't.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
It's just like frail Smurfs with anger issues.
Frail Smurfs. And chunky water, apparently. So, trivia question. Ready to do the trivia question?
Yes. So the trivia question is.
Yes.
Did anyone guess for it?
I don't think
I didn't see anyone.
anyone tried. Maybe they tried in their head.
Let me
Electronically,
see.
they didn't try.
May 4th, 2005.
May 4th, 2005
2005.
was an important date for skepticism. What was that date?
That was the date of the first Skeptics Guide podcast.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
So
This is I forget if it was one of the brothers has this great entry. Like when you listen to the first episode, they introduce the panel, and he just goes, "Hello," and it's just like
I'm gonna guess that it was Bob because that sounds like Bob to me.
yeah.
Oh, no, Jay. I'm thinking Jay.
Jay and Bob, they travel as a bonded pair.
Bob's a little bit more reserved, but Jay's did the hey, yeah. That was definitely a Jay.
Yeah, no,
It was a novellum who wasn't Steve.
It was one of the novellae.
Novelli.
Novellae.
Yeah, no, and so they have clearly had a really big impact on science communication. They've made science communication accessible to the
yes.
To the layperson, and it popularized podcasting at the same time. So there's a lot of credit that goes to that show.
I put a lot of credit into the Novellatron and the Novellae and others. And the late the one.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't listened to those episodes.
Perry, yes, Perry.
Yeah, I don't listen to those episodes because I don't want to go through that.
And of course, I have continued to learn how smart both birds and monkeys are over the years.
Because
apparently they are. There's a big
trying to make
contention over whether birds or monkeys are smarter. The apes and birds are smarter. So that's kind of a thing that's been going on forever. Yeah, it's a good podcast. If you don't know about it, check it out. Skeptic Guides Universe.
If you don't know about it,
what
the hell's wrong with
you? Why are you watching this shit?
I know. Actually, we cover a lot of the stuff that they do. We just do it first. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, with pictures.
And pictures.
Yes. Okay. So we did the trivia question. We did that thing. The video's behind me. Actually, because today is not Harry Potter Day, it's actually May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day. Of course, the videos behind me are the trailer from the original movie back in the 70s and the trailer of the most recent movie, Force Awakens. And
Disney's fanfic, according to...
Yes, Disney's fanfic. Which Nathan pointed out, but of course Nathan wasn't first. Alex Murdoch was first.
Well done, Alex.
The Star Wars and the Star Wars behind me, and yes, that was probably the easiest set of videos I've ever put on the show. So thank you for playing. So we did that. We did that. The other thing, books. We need to do the books thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys have books? Who's got a book?
We also have announcements.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
the
just buy
same
your
as
books.
last week.
I will do the announcements because I wasn't here last week. Nexus, the Northeast Conference in Science and Skepticism in New York City, is May 12th to the 15th. That's coming up really, really quickly. It's not this weekend, it's next weekend. It is the 8th annual event. I have been to a lot of them. I have not been to the last couple, and I won't be at this one, unfortunately, which makes me really sad because it's a great event. There's great speakers. There's great side events. People who put on this event
The
are
aforementioned
great people.
Novelli and
Yes.
the skeptic groups in New York.
Yes, Mike Feldman and New York City Skeptics and New England Skeptics and Skeptics Guide to the Universe. They all put all this thing on. It's awesome. It is currently, because TAM is gone, it is currently the best skeptic conference in the country. I will not say that without shame. And unfortunately, I'm missing it this year. So get there, enjoy it, and then tell me about it later so I can live vicariously through you. Also, on May 15th, there's a conference in Oakland on the other side of the country called Skeptic. It is their 7th annual event and is put on by the Bay Area Skeptics. I've never been to that one, but I've heard good things about it. So if you can't get to New York, if you're on the other side of the country, go to that one. That one's kind of cool. The 50th annual Balticon. Now, Balticon is short for Baltimore Con. Convention. Baltimore Convention. It is a annual sci-fi, fantasy, and literary convention. So they do books and podcasts and graphic novels and various other things that are surrounded that. There's a science track. There's a skeptic track. There is a podcasting track. I'm here locally, so I go to this one a lot. I enjoy it. There's a lot of great people involved. It is May 27th to the 30th. I will be there for some of the time, I think. I'm not sure yet. I know that Bob and Eve are going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
George R. R. Martin is going to be there this year, so if you're into that, you can go hang out and see.
He should be writing. I don't care.
No, he's attending
really
conference and not writing. So at least he won't be killing any characters that weekend. But there's lots of other people that are involved. Go check out the website.
I won't give a tiny shit.
Yeah, it's a great convention. Go check it out. Anywhere near Baltimore. Okay. Finally, no, 2 more. Bob and 3 other skeptics. What are these 3 other skeptics?
I forget. Ben Radford, David. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Kopsfeld.
Okay.
And
Celestia.
And one to be named later.
Okay. Is it Celestia Ward?
Perhaps.
Okay, so they have commentaries posted.
That's why I didn't give their names.
Shh. They and Bob are having commentaries published over at the Skeptical Inquiry's website as part of a new series of extremely clever people saying extremely clever things, according to Bob.
Yes.
I have not seen this yet, but I hear it's kind of cool. I will check it out, and you should too. The first Skeptic Camp in Los Angeles is this weekend, Saturday, May 7th, at the Santa Monica College. Go check that out. Skeptic Camps are great events. They're put on by the local skeptic groups. You get a lot of interesting people in one place at one time. They talk about interesting things, and you can listen to what you hear and talk back, which is one of the great things about Skeptic Camp. We used to do one here in D.C. Haven't put one on in a little while. We're trying to organize one in the Baltimore area as well, and I will let you know when that happens. I love them. I've emceed them. I have made a fool of myself trying to do magic in front of people at these events. So it is really cool, and you meet a lot of really cool people. Go check out Skeptic Camp, L.A. How's that? That was pretty cool, huh?
That was good.
Book time. This is the time when we talk about stuff we're reading. And so, because we're like reading and think reading's cool, and we should, encourage you to read. So, who's first?
Wow.
Bob's not ready.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bob. You look really prepared.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know exactly what the context is for this
Okay.
reading, but
Yep. Go ahead.
Once a week is often enough for a decent white man to wash himself all over, and whether in summer or winter, that ought to be done with soap, warm water, and a hog's hair brush in a room
Oh.
showing at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If a man is a pig in his nature, then no amount of washing will keep him clean inside or out. Such a one needs a bath every time he turns around.
Okay, you lost me at the end of that, but okay. I can't even imagine what this book is.
Yeah, me either. Now that I
Eve?
look at it.
Eve?
On another occasion, while riding in a taxi, Houdini showed the Doyles how he could detach his thumb from its joint as if it were invisibly amputated. It was an illusion that almost caused Jean Doyle to faint. Hence the magician wondered how this couple might fare in their search for mediums in America if they were so impressed by sleight of hand.
Is it something like this? Because I can get the.
I believe that is pretty much what it is.
With my thumb, I can.
I know. I know.
Demon. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Arthur Conan Doyle would totally think you have magic powers.
No doubt.
He was such a twit.
Okay. There's an episode of The X-Files where the protagonist, Mulder, bedridden and about to be consumed by an obsessive-compulsive vampire, spills a bag of sunflower seeds on the floor in self-defense. The vampire, powerless against his compulsion, stoops to pick them up one by one, and ultimately the sun rises before he can make a meal of Mulder. Computer scientists would call this a ping attack or a denial of service attack. Given a system an overwhelming
I did not see it going in that
I know. Giving an overwhelming number of trivial things to do, the important thing to get lost in the chaos. Okay. What's your book, Bob?
My book was The Great Patent Medicine Era by Adelaide Hachlinger.
Hachlinger.
And it's in a library
Wow.
slip. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. That sounds like it would have all kinds of really bizarre, interesting things in it.
It sure does, and one of them was that advice about bathing. And here's an illustration of the Turkish way of making love.
Fully clothed?
Fully clothed and with a sword.
Apparently.
No,
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah, we'll see.
Apparently their coffee is better than their love. What's your book, Eve?
The Witch of Lime Street, Seance, Seduction, and Houdini in the Spirit World by David Jahar.
Jahar.
Arr.
I have not read that one. I love. Is it accurate Houdini stuff or is it what?
Yeah, it's seems to be mostly. It's about primarily a specific case of when Scientific American was offering $2,500 for someone who could show real mediumistic abilities, and Mina Crandon, aka Marjorie, applied and had convinced most of the committee until Houdini went, "What the crap is going on?"
Yeah.
And came back and went, "Oh gosh, no."
That sounds interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I got this book this week. It was one of those. It was sitting on the new book section in the bookstore, and I'd never heard the authors, and the title just kind of spoke to me. And it's interesting in that it allows you. It kind of describes a lot of things that I already know about. It's computer technology, and Tim would probably know about as well. But it also compares those to real life experiences and things from pop culture and various other things, so you can kind of understand them both ways. So you can understand in context of what the computer does, and you can understand what happens in real life based on what happens in the computer. And it's called Algorithms to Live By, The Computer Science of Human Decisions. Right there. By Brian Christian and Tom Griffiths, which I'm not sure who they are, but it's been, I'm not quite through it yet, but it is interesting from a computer nerd kind of point of view, and all the references and stuff, and that was one I liked because it was out of
That's
nowhere.
a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so That was cool. So, any other questions or comments on the audience feeds? I don't see. We've done all that we were supposed to do, and we've used up all the time we're supposed to use. And I thank everyone for watching, and I'm going to put the logo up and start the music.
Oh God, ninjas!
Ninjas! Ninjas! Don't forget to chew your water. Virtual Skeptics is an independent expression of What's the Hot Net, Skeptical Humanities, myself, ICBS Everywhere, and Delta News. Our logo is designed by Sarah Mayhew at sarahmayhew.com, and our theme music is by Musicant and used with permission. And Bob has left to go dance.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.